I didn't leave because I wanted freedom. I left because staying was slowly killing me. Every single step I took away from that place, every footfall on the wet pavement, it felt wrong. But turning back felt worse. 1,000 times worse. I remember the sound of my breath. It was loud, so uneven, chasing me through the dark. It was like a desperate rhythm keeping time with my heart. It felt like something was always right behind me. Not a person. Never a person. A feeling. A weight. The suffocating feeling of being known in all the wrong ways. The streets were empty, but they didn't feel quiet. The city hummed with a nervous energy that matched my own. Neon lights flickered, bleeding their colors across slick asphalt. Every window seemed to hold a pair of eyes, watching, judging. Every shadow looked like a mistake waiting to be repeated. A ghost of a past I was trying to outrun. I just kept moving because stopping meant thinking. And thinking meant remembering. It meant feeling the walls close in all over again, even out here in the open. They say running doesn't solve anything. Maybe they're right, but sometimes it's the only way to survive long enough to even begin to figure out what broke you. It's the space you need to breathe, to let the noise die down, to hear your own thoughts for the first time in forever. It's not about finding a solution in the first mile. It's about earning the right to search for one. There was a time when leaving never crossed my mind. A time when those four walls felt like a sanctuary, not a cage. Back when doors didn't feel like traps, waiting to click shut behind you. Back when silence was just silence, a peaceful absence of sound, not this loud screaming void. I remember laughter. Or at least, I think I remember the idea of it. A faded photograph of a feeling. But memories lie, don't they? They soften the edges. They paint over the cracks. They conveniently erase all those small, sharp moments that taught you how to disappear in plain sight. People ask why you ran. They always want a simple story. As if there's a single moment, a single fight, a single night that broke the camel's back. They want a villain and a hero. The truth is darker than that and far more quiet. It's the slow accumulation of everything unsaid. The gradual poisoning of the air you breathe. It's every single time you swallowed your voice to keep the peace. Every time you were told to stay quiet. To be grateful. To just endure. It's not one big wound. It's 1,000 tiny cuts that you stop noticing until you're bleeding out. I wasn't brave when I left. Not at all. I was terrified. Utterly, completely terrified. Terrified that I was wrong. That I was misreading everything. Terrified that I'd regret it the second the sun came up. Terrified that I'd become exactly what they said I would. Lost, alone, nothing. But fear is a strange thing. It can either build your cage, or it can hand you the key. That night, it pushed. It shoved me out the door and whispered, "Go." There's a special kind of loneliness that comes from choosing yourself over what's familiar. It's a profound, hollow ache. There's no applause. No one throws you a parade. There's no reassurance. No guiding voice telling you did the right thing. Just long, empty roads and a million unanswered questions that echo in the quiet. I watched the city blur past the train window, a smear of light and darkness. And I wondered how many other people out there were pretending everything was fine, just like I used to. How many smiles were hiding screams. I remember standing still once. Just once. In the middle of it all, trying to explain how I felt. Trying to use words to build a bridge over the canyon that had grown between us. I was trying to be understood. The silence that followed was louder and more damning than any argument ever could be. It was a silence filled with incomprehension, with dismissal. And that's when I learned something critically important. Not everyone who hears you actually listens. And not everyone who says they love you knows how. There was a moment somewhere between the third state line and the fifth cup of bad gas station coffee. Somewhere between total exhaustion and a strange new clarity where I realized I had stopped running from something and had started running towards something. It wasn't a destination on a map. It wasn't a concrete plan. It was just the possibility. The faint, fragile possibility that my life could feel different. That I could feel different. I realized I wasn't escaping. I was shedding. Shedding old skin, old versions of myself I had been forced to wear. Shedding old expectations that were never mine to begin with. Shedding old wounds that I didn't deserve to carry another mile. The process was painful, like peeling off a bandage that had fused to your skin. But underneath, for the first time, there was air. The past doesn't loosen its grip easily. It has claws. It sends echoes and phantoms to chase you down the highway. But distance weakens it. Time starves it. Still, the fear never fully leaves. It's a patient hunter. It waits. It waits in the quiet moments before sleep. It flickers in your own reflection in a dark window. It haunts your dreams with what ifs. What if I failed? What if I was wrong all along? What if going back would have been easier? But easier doesn't mean better. Easier is a trap. And comfort, the comfort of the familiar, even a familiar pain. That can be the most dangerous prison of all. The one you lock from the inside. I stopped at a place with no name. It wasn't a town, just an intersection of two roads in the middle of nowhere. Just empty space and an endless, open sky. I got out of the car and just stood there. And for the first time in years, no one expected anything from me. There were no roles to play. No labels to live up to. No quiet disappointments to manage. Just breathing. Just existing. And in that moment, that simple act of just being felt like the greatest rebellion of my life. I don't know where this road ends. I honestly don't. I don't know who I'll be when I finally get there. But I know with every fiber of my being who I couldn't stay. I couldn't stay that ghost haunting someone else's house. Sometimes survival doesn't look heroic. It's not a grand dramatic movie scene. Sometimes it looks like packing a bag in the dead of night. It looks like leaving quietly. And never ever feeling the need to explain yourself to the people you left behind. If you're listening to this and you feel that same impossible weight in your chest, that same quiet, desperate pull toward the unknown, please know this. Running ice into weakness when staying costs you your soul. When staying means you cease to exist. Sometimes it's the only act of self-love you have left. I didn't run to disappear. I ran to exist. I ran so I could finally hear my own voice, and maybe one day, maybe I'll stop running. Maybe one day I'll find a place to just be, but not yet. Not just yet.